Hey guys, Magentos is back here today again, and I'll be doing a third part of my video on Buddyfight tutorial. So this will be part 3. So part 3 will be generally some tips and tricks you might find useful in your Buddyfight games. So the deck I'll be demonstrating on will be my Blue Sky Knights deck. So if you want to check it out, I'll leave the link in the description below. So feel free to check it out, and yeah, so let's get on with my tips for you guys. So when you start off, it'll be like this. Okay, so during your first turn, you will want to call your monster with the highest crit count. Let's say Drum Bunker Dragon, instead of a monster like Dalmedia Dragon. Alright, so at the first turn, if you begin first, it's your turn. So you get to hit your opponent for essentially it's a free unless he nullifies it or something. So you get to hit your opponent first. So I would recommend you use the highest crit count monster you have in your hand and just hit your opponent with it. Yep, that's pretty much the first tip. Yep, so always remember to hit your opponent with the highest crit count monster. Don't waste your first attack on like a 1 crit attack. It's not much of use. So the second tip I have for you guys is you have to know where to place your monsters. So let's say you have this card is from my personal collection, so yeah. Okay, let's say you have this card. Give me a moment. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's say you have this card. So this card basically when your opponent attacks, you can change the target of the attack with this card. Yep, so basically you do not want to call this card to the center just because it's skill. So it makes him a very strong card to call to the left or the right. So you can divert all your opponent's attacks to him. So you can call him to the right or the left. Just try not to call him in the center. It's just very stupid. Your opponent can hit you with penetrate. So if your opponent just call it to the left or right, always remember you need to know where to call your cards. So another scenario may be that okay, so you have a monster with Soul Guard, right? Your monster with Soul Guard. So if a monster has Soul Guard, you can obviously put it in the center. So your opponent will need 2 attacks to break through your defenses and attack you. Oh wait, I need to change the flag back. Yeah, so basically, yeah, if you want to use the Soul Guard, so yeah, just put it in the center. So another scenario would be like you have a very strong monster with high defense. You will also want to call it to the center. So your opponent either link attack. Give me a moment. So your opponent has to link attack the monster to be able to defeat it. Yeah, so yep. So the final scenario will be that you have a move monster. So if you have not the final scenario. So okay, move monster, so you would like to call it to the left or the right. Phone going off, who cares, man? Alright, so call it to the left or right so you can move and you can attack with your weapon or yeah, something. So the final scenario will be when you have a very strong monster like Drum Bunker Dragon, Barrier Breaker. So it has penetrate and has awesome 3 crits. So you will not want to put this card in the center because it simply applies too much pressure to your opponent. So with this kind of very strong cards that applies constant pressure to your opponent, you can call it to the left or right, so your opponent will waste 1 attack to try and destroy this monster. Yep, so if you call it to the center, your opponent obviously will want to destroy it, so he will use some penetrate monster to destroy it, and it's a win-win situation for your opponent, which you do not want. So that's the second tip I have for you guys, which is know where to place your monsters. So the third tip I have for you guys is it's basically know when to nullify attacks. Okay, know when to nullify your opponent's attacks. So if your opponent hits you for 1 crit, just take it, okay? Just take it. Unless you're gonna die, then you use a knife fight. So if you always want to save your knife fights because they're quite limited in your deck. For the strong crit monsters from your opponent, so like something like a 4 crit or 5 crit monster, or even 3 crits, yeah. So he will attack you, so you will know you should use your knife fight at that moment instead of some weak monster attacking you. Unless you're in dire situation, that is. So another part of this is need to know when to life gain. So once again, back to this card. So when this card enters the field, you can gain 2 life. So you need to know when to life gain. You shouldn't be like you don't just spam your life gain in one turn and you shoot up to 20 life. That's just weird and stupid. So the more health you gain, it will be better obviously, but your opponent will know how to counter you. So your opponent will realize, this guy has 20 life, I need to do something to stop him. So he'll call his strong monster, start whacking you off. Yeah, so you should try and conceal your life gain. So yeah, so you should just fan it out so your opponent attacks you for 3 crits, then you use some life gain and gain back the life. So it's just generally annoying, but it works. Yep, so you need to know when to nullify and gain life. So basically that's just to what's that shit called? Okay, so that's just to save your life. So yeah. So the next thing is obviously knowing when to cast your spells. Okay, that's a life gain spell. Knowing when to cast your spells like this. Yep, so right here I have 4 spells for you guys. So let's just start with Dragon Energy. So Dragon Energy powers up your opponent, your Armor Dragon. So you need to so you use this when you want to save Armor Dragon, or you want to break through your opponent's defense. Yeah, with the additional power gain. So basically it's a very good card. So you mostly use this when your strong monster is about to die. So use this and give it power so it doesn't die. Yeah, and it has counter attack, so yeah, it can destroy opponent's monster. So do not use this kind of spells that power up your monsters on your weaker monsters. That is not really worth it. Yeah. Always remember when to cast a spell. Next we have a life gain spell. Okay, we're not talking about life gain, so we already did. So another one is destroy your opponent monster. Let me focus on that. Yep, so basically what you want to do is you need to know which monster to destroy. Yep, so if your opponent has a 5k monster, yeah, so basically you would want to destroy one with the highest crit. Oops, sorry guys, my device just stupidly died on me. Yeah, so continuing with this, destroying a monster on your field, so very strong. So you need to know which monster to choose, the one which poses a largest threat to you, that is. Yep, so the last spell we have here is, of course, it's a draw engine type of spell. So standard stuff, pay 2 gauge, draw a card, draw cards and stuff. So basically what you want to do with these kind of spells is don't cast it immediately, save it when you do not have much hand size. Yeah. So timing is very important in Buddyfight, so when and where you cast your spells and stuff may just affect the outcome of the battle. Yeah, so that's what I want to tell you guys. So a few more tips from me. So always, yeah, you need to know when to use your impact and finish off your opponent. Sorry about the clarity. Yep, so sometimes your opponents may have some tricks up their sleeves that will stop them from being destroyed by you. So yeah, timing of the impact. And lastly, of course, you need to always remember to buddy call if you have the means to do so. Oh wait, that's not the last tip. So the final tip, you may think it's common sense, but I've seen a lot of people, they just don't do it. Okay, so the last tip is remember to charge and draw every turn. Yeah, so basically this will increase your gauge and it actually doesn't reduce your hand size. So what many people does is they draw a card and they feel, whoa, this is a very good card, I'm gonna keep it, and then the whole hand is, let's say everything in the hand is what they want, so they will not choose to sacrifice any one of these, so they don't increase their gauge. Yeah, so I think that's a very stupid thing. You have to sacrifice one of these. Yep, so basically this is the third part of the video. If you haven't checked the part 1 and part 2 on Buddyfight tutorial, feel free to check it out. I'll leave the link in the description below. And if you want to see the deck profile, my Blue Sky Knights deck, it will also be in the deck. It will also be in the description below. And with that, these are all the tips for you guys. So yeah, stay tuned. If you're new to my channel, feel free to subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And of course, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like down below to show me some support. And if you want to see more from my channel, feel free to subscribe. It means a lot to me. So with that being said, I will end my video here. So peace out, guys.